Rounding to the nearest 10. Telling which multiple of 10 is the closest. Rounding to the nearest 10. Telling which multiple of 10 is the closest. Rounding to the nearest 10. Hello again. This is the graphic that we saw yesterday when we talked about numbers that were greater and less than 5. We'll use this chart to help us learn how to round to the nearest 10, which is telling which number that has a 0 in the ones place is the closest. This chart has been color-coded to help us remember how to use it. First of all, the two columns that are red are multiples of 10. They all have a 0 in the ones place. When rounding to the nearest 10, these are your only options for answers. Your green columns are columns that round up to the larger multiple of 10. These are numbers that have 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 in the ones place. The numbers that are in gray round down to the smaller multiple of 10. These numbers have a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the ones place. This will make more sense as we look at some examples. Our first number that we'll attempt to round is 22. First, we identify that 22 is between 20 and 30. So we now know that 20 or 30 are our only possible answers for 22 rounded to the nearest 10. Next, let's locate 22 on our graphic. 22 is located between 21 and 23. Now let's find out how far away from 20 22 is. So we count backwards to the smaller multiple of 10. And we find that it is 2 numbers away. 22 is 2 numbers away from 20. Now, let's count up to the next possible answer, which is 30. And we see that 22 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers away from 30. Remember, rounding to the nearest 10 is telling which multiple of 10 a number is closer to. And since 22 is 2 numbers away from 20 and 8 numbers away from 30, 20 is closer. So 22 rounded to the nearest 10 is 20. Now let's look at these 4 numbers, 33, 71, 92, and 14. With 33, first we need to identify which 2 tens 33 is between, and it is between 30 and 40. We can use our chart to help us. We've identified where 33 is, and it appears that it is closer to 30 than 40. So 33 rounded to the nearest 10 is 30. 71 is between 70 and 80. Well, 71 is 1 away from 70, and 9 away from 80, so 71 rounded to the nearest 10 is 70. 92 rounded to the nearest 10 is 90, and 14 between 10 and 20 rounds down to 10. One thing you'll notice about all these numbers is they're on the left side of the middle column. They're on the left side of the numbers that end with a 5 in the ones place. So if a number ends with 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the ones place, it rounds down. Probably the trickiest part of rounding to the nearest 10 is remembering what to do when a number has a 5 in the ones place. Let's look at 55. 55 is directly between 50 and 60. It's 5 away from 50 and it's 5 away from 60. So what should we do? Well, the rule is anytime a number ends with a 5 in the ones place, you round up to the larger multiple of 10. Here is the color-coded graphic with the numbers taken away. As you can see, the numbers on the left side of the chart round down, and on the right side of the chart round up. The numbers on the left side of the chart all have a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the ones place. The numbers on the right side of the chart have a 6, 7, 8, or 9 in the ones place. And the numbers that have a 5 in the ones place are directly in the middle. They're neither on the left or the right side of the chart. However, they round up to the larger multiple of 10. 48 is 8 numbers away from 40 and 2 numbers away from 50. So 48 rounded to the nearest 10 is 50 because it's closer. And 90 is clearly farther away from 97 than 100. Since 100 is closer, 97 rounded to the nearest 10 is 100. I hope this helps you understand rounding a little better. We'll work a little bit more with it. And if it's still not clear to you, hang in there. It will be soon. Rounding to the nearest 10. Telling which multiple of 10 is the closest. Rounding to the nearest 10. Telling which multiple of 10 is the closest. Rounding to the nearest 10.